Ba 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 ba. Hey, welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to explain what I used to do to train to be a competitive eater. Now, this all took place back when I was with Major League Eating. That's when I did most of my training. Once I left them, I would only train for certain contests, and it had to be a really major contest, and you'll see why. In order to be a successful competitive eater, you have to be able to stretch your stomach to accommodate mass amounts of food in it at one time. There's two ways to do it. One is, say you go to a buffet and just eat vast amounts of food. But that didn't really work for me because while it's fun to do that, it's not fun to process all that food afterwards. And it's really hard to compare one day to the next. The food's always different. And if you're not eating the same identical food every single day, I wouldn't know if I was improving or not. So I chose to train with water, which is very, very dangerous, but there was no calories in it, and it was relatively inexpensive. So before a big contest, I would do a morning stretch every single morning. Then I would go to work, come home, and do at least one stomach stretch to two stomach stretches after work. Now the morning stretch was just like a flat line. I would do a base thing. It was just kind of to warm myself up for the day. Then I would get home from work and I would do the actual, what I call a max stretch. That is most I could possibly put inside my body. Again, I'm repeating, this is not something anyone should be trying. Before major contests, like the Crystal Square Off hamburger eating contests, ones that I really wanted to win, I would do 3 stretches a day. And I got to the point where over years of doing this, my morning stretch would be 3.5 gallons. Let that sink in, 3.5 gallons. So I'd get up, empty stomach, chug 3.5 gallons. I would go to work, not eat anything whatsoever. Then I would come home from work and do at least one more stretch where I would try to do maximum stretch. So before the last Crystal Square Off, I was consistently hitting 3.75 gallons on that max stretch, which is crazy. And then I would do it 2 stretches back to back. Obviously, this is very tough on the body, and the rewards are so few, no one should be doing this. First, you're going to kill yourself, and second, you're not going to make any money in competitive eating. Let's address that real quick right now. Almost no one makes any money in competitive eating. I'll repeat that. Almost no one makes any money in competitive eating. If you know someone that happens to win money in competitive eating, if you actually look at their expenses, typically say they win $500, they place third in the contest. World Championship, they place third, they get $500. They probably paid $1,000 just to get to that contest, the hotel, rent a car, whatnot. Nothing against those eaters, but they're doing it more as a hobby. If you're doing something as a hobby or just a way you can get part of your travel reimbursed, you shouldn't be training and doing this. You're literally risking your life. I would train off a certain song. I would put the same song by Mac Lethal on every single time. I would chug, and depending on where I was in the song, I would know how I was doing that day speed-wise. Now when I say chug, this is as quick as humanly possible. 3.5 minutes tops. Anything over that, and to me it wasn't a chug. My morning would be, like I said, just like a maintenance thing at 3.5. I'm going to show a video after this, and that is just the first 2 gallons of my morning stretch, because I was posting these videos as I was training for a wing bowl, and I didn't want to show anything over 2 gallons because it's just 2 gallons is too dangerous to show. But this is me, and when I went to edit this video to post, I realized how quickly I did it. It actually was a world record for the fastest 2-gallon chug out of a jug without spilling a drop. Jugs upside down, nothing came out of the jug. I wasn't trying to set a record, I was just trying to do a morning stretch. It's just, I was used to doing so much more than 2 gallons that I actually ended up doing the 2 gallons fairly quickly. I wish I had some of my older chugs when I was with Major League Eating, when I actually could chug very quickly. Who knows what I would have done then. Here is that video. All right, this is my morning one. So it's pretty early in the day right here. I just woke up. It's usually my like slow stretch of the day. Try not to go too fast, just to kind of do an easy stretch in the morning, and then I'll do a second one of the day. So this is the first one. Wow, this is a throwback video. This is from 2016. I'd already left Major League Eating, and you can tell my heart's just not into it anymore. As I said earlier, I would do 3.5 gallons as a minimum chug when I was serious about competitive eating. And this day, I'm only going to chug 3 gallons in the morning, which is kind of sad because I'd already been doing this is day 44 out of 60 to prepare for the Wing Bowl contest. You know, I wanted to do well, and I put in the work, but you can tell my heart's just not there anymore to put up the big numbers I used to be able to. But overall, it was still a fast chug for not even trying to go fast, so I was very happy with where I was at considering my mindset at the time. Just a reminder though, just because I'm doing this in this video doesn't mean you should be trying to do this. This is not safe to do. I just did 3 gallons. I showed 2. All right, now that we're back from the morning video, as I mentioned, I would do this at least twice a day. When the contest would roll around, I would do my morning chug, and then a lot of times we would drive to the contest. So on the way to the contest, I would have to get my second chug in. But because I was concerned about having liquids inside my body, I could only do that second chug outside 4 hours before the contest. So if the contest started at noon, I would want to do that chug at 8 o'clock in the morning. When I was on the road, I would never chug a huge amount of liquid. On the video after this, and I chugged 2.5 gallons. This is the largest chug I've ever posted. And you can hear the eater with me that was recording me saying, am I going to chug all 3 gallons? Because he knew I could easily do it. And I didn't want to take any chances. So here is that video.
Wait, you're only doing 2.5? Yeah. All right. So, but great.
I don't know where 3 is going to be in there. I don't want to have issues.
Okay. I don't want you in the car either.
I removed all the wind in the background here. This was really whipping here, and it was nice and chilly, so it wasn't an easy chug, but I wasn't going fast here. This is just a nice, easy, a little bit of stretch just to keep my body loose before a contest. That's 2 of my chugs, which is crazy and very dangerous. Don't try this at home. It is just stupid to do. The only other way you can train is train with the actual food that's going to be in the contest, but I rarely was able to get that same identical food, so I almost never trained with food. And that only helps with speed and technique of how to be able to swallow quicker. The reason I left Major League Eating is I did not feel like doing this training anymore. It is exhausting. I mean, of course, I accomplished a lot of what I accomplished there, and I got as high as number 2 in the world behind Joey, a long time at number 3, but it is a lot of work. And even at my level, the amount of money I was making wasn't guaranteed, and it wasn't something I just thought was worthwhile after a certain age. So after that, I did do contests because I still had the ability to eat. And I still have done some decent numbers since I've left, but without doing this training, you're not going to be good, and I'm not going to be good. That's why my times are all slow, much slower than I used to be with Major League Eating, and I'm not nearly as good an eater as I was when I trained. Because of my past training, I could comfortably eat 15 pounds of food at a buffet without breaking any kind of sweat. That's a lot different than doing that in 8 to 10 minutes in an eating contest. It's much harder. My jaw goes out so much quicker now. It goes out almost immediately because I don't train my jaw. Hopefully that's a little bit background. I hope you enjoyed this kind of storytelling video. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below and I'll try to address them for you. Thanks for coming to another video. Don't try this at home, and I'll see you guys again soon. Ba 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 ba.